Hello and welcome to the National Careers Institute's webinar, Career Decision Making for School Leavers and Why Self-Awareness Counts. My name is Nishi and I'll be hosting today's webinar where we'll be discussing self-awareness and its importance when it comes to making a career decision. Thank you for joining us. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal people, the traditional custodians of the lands on which we gather. We wish to acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of Canberra and the region. It's important to know yourself and the unique contribution you can make in your career. This is where being self-aware comes in. Once you've raised your self-awareness, you can match this to the tasks and environments you'll thrive in. And this will help you shortlist occupations and access opportunities. Joining me today are two special guests, Melissa Schubert, who is one of our career practitioners, and Jordan Clark, who is one of NCI's information officers. Together, we'll be exploring ways you can raise awareness through reflecting on interests, skills, likes and dislikes, weaknesses and values. We'll also provide information to help you access resources through the Your Career website. Jordan, I want to start with you. When you were in high school, did you have a clear idea about what your future career might look like?
Not at all, not until very late. It was about, I think, halfway through year 11, I decided to enlist in the Defence Force. And so I guess throughout the last year and a half, 2 years of my schooling, that was what I was going to be doing for a majority of my life. I was very lucky to have my parents and my teachers convince me that I should finish school and do well in school just as a backup, because things don't always go according to plan, and things definitely didn't go according to plan. So I'm very thankful for that suggestion from them. So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Inside that, Melissa, can you tell me, is it common or uncommon for a young person to be unsure or undecided about their future career?
I would say it's very common.
Okay.
Not in all young people, but as a general rule, it is common for them to be unsure about what their future would look like. The reason for that is when you're young, you have a limited understanding about the world of work and also about yourself as well. So we learn who we are by doing, and until these young people can start engaging in some of these activities, it can be really hard for them to have a clear idea about where they want to go.
Yeah, okay, correct. Jordan, can you tell me what kind of things have you done or been involved in that helped you find yourself or be more aware of yourself, your strengths and your interests?
Yeah, I think having a lot of roles within my adult working life has helped me, I guess, find what I'm passionate about, and just through trial and error, trying different, I guess, career pathways, finding what works for me and what doesn't, and then learning how to make things work in my favour.
Okay. Melissa, can you tell me why engaging in these kind of activities is an important part of becoming self-aware?
Because you're learning about yourself while you're engaging in these different activities.
Yeah.
So we often tend to think that when we're learning about the world of work, the only way we can gain those skills and that experience is by engaging in paid work, when actually that's not the case. A lot of learning and skill building takes place in our volunteer work and in those other hats that we wear throughout our life, whether that's being a part of a sporting club or engaging in extracurricular activities. We're actually learning a lot about ourselves and how we can potentially operate in the world of work before we even enter that formalised space of work.
Yeah, okay. Jordan, can you again tell me what kind of things have you done or been involved in that helped or made you more aware of the world of work?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think just trying my hand at different things, and as Melissa said, in outside of work, trying to get involved in the community. I'm involved with sporting teams and coaching, and that directly translates to work because you learn how to cope with or how to deal with people's strengths and weaknesses directly. So that definitely has been a massive help in my working life.
Great. Next question is for both of you. We'll start with Melissa. Melissa, can you tell me how important it is to align your values to the career choices you make?
I would say it's extremely important because our values tend to stay constant throughout our life, and they really become a big part of who we are and how we live our life. Because our working life is such a big part of who we are, if we can align the types of work that we engage in with what we value, we're going to be more motivated, we're going to be more passionate about the work that we do, and we're essentially going to achieve better results in the process.
Very true. Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think to be really good at the job that you do, I think being passionate about the work that you undertake on a day-to-day basis is really important. So I think, even if it's a small part of your role that you find passion in, I think emphasising that is really important.
Yeah, beautiful. Can you also tell me what your plans are for the next few years?
I still really don't know. It's very unclear. I really like the role that I'm in at the moment. So I think for the next few years, it'll just be keeping an eye out for opportunities that come up, putting my hand up to, volunteer for further responsibilities and roles as they appear. But yeah, still very unsure.
Yeah, okay. Also, I would like to ask you, with your experience,
Yep.
what kind of advice can you give for young people?
I think a big thing that I've learned is don't be scared to fail at anything. I've tried my hand at a lot of things. Not all of them have worked out in my favour, but I've built myself up because of those experiences. And I would definitely recommend to just use any resources that are available to try and gain clarity from a personal perspective as to what you want to do. So just talking to people.
Yeah, beautiful. That's some great advice. I'd also like some advice from you, Melissa. One final piece of advice for young people leaving school.
I think the conversation has changed now. It used to be very traditional and straightforward. We would say to young people, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah.
Or when you leave school? That question is now shifted to what are the kinds of problems that you want to solve and what are the skills and qualifications that you need to move into that.
Yeah.
So keep things broad to start with. Engaging in career exploration is so important because it's going to open your eyes to the opportunities that are out there. How do you do that with the amount of information that's available? Will you have a conversation with someone? And the best place to start there is to have a session with a career practitioner. They can help you unpack some of these things, who you are, what you hope to get out of your work, and then match it with where are the future demands and trends for these skills.
Yeah.
So the School Leavers Information Service is a great place to start.
Yeah.
You can gain information and resources from the main page through the School Leavers Information Kit, but you're also able to book in for a 45-minute session with a qualified career practitioner. So you can actually start getting into some of the details about you individually.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think if I had something like that available to me, going through school, it would have helped a great deal, for sure.
Excellent. That's beautiful advice. Thank you very much on that. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, and a special thanks to our guests, Melissa and Jordan. I hope you guys got a lot out of today's discussion. For more information, go to yourcareer.gov.au. Thank you for joining us today.